Well, it's uncommon fossil, and Pokemon has been having troubles with live since the update for Paldea Evolve, which is also the update that took it out of beta. So, not great timing. But what's happened here is, I believe, if you have a Pokemon that has ability lock and it's removed from play, it causes the game to soft lock. So they've been kind of messing around with things. Spiritoon's been banned for a bit. They banned Penny because that takes these Pokemon out of play. Now Penny's back in play, but these Pokemon that are in standard with ability lock are all banned. I don't know if there's any other standard cards that they've missed the ban, but Spiritomb, Ting-Lu EX, Klefki, Gorbis, Empoleon V, and Aerodactyl V-Star, which all have ability lock one way or the other, have been banned from the game. So it's the right thing to do. It's unfortunate that they can't seem to fix these problems quickly. That's what needs to happen is they need to fix it, but they're struggling to fix things. It's odd to me that there's this when a Pokemon gets removed from play that's when causes trouble. It seems this may be some relation between this issue and what's happening with the Gardevoir EX deck with like your Zacian V that's been removed from play, and you get it back into play through a Miriam or a Clara, and I believe the Super Rod does the same thing. It no longer knows it's a Psychic Pokemon, so somehow removing things from play, putting them into play, is causing trouble. It seems like removing from play causes trouble. So they've removed all these cards from standard, which is fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine for now. But they didn't address expanded. So I built this Weezing deck with net. So Weezing, if you're not familiar with that, since it rotated, Galarian Weezing's a basic a single prize stage 1 Pokemon. If it's in the active spot, none of your opponent's cards Pokemon have abilities. It's a very effective ability lock card. And we have that card, which hasn't been banned. And we have Scoop Up Net, which hasn't been banned. So Scoop Up Net scoops up Weezing single prize. So I think I will soft lock the game with it. I want to find that out. So I built this deck, making this video to test this out. Apologies to my opponent, because I am going to try to lock up the game on them. So they're going to see what's in this deck I've built. They will see the trouble here because of this mulligan. They may give me some unhappy emoji, which I wouldn't blame them for. They may even concede, wouldn't even blame them for that. So let's see what happens here. I believe the game will lock up. I think it locks up for my opponent. I actually had never had that experience in standard before these cards were banned. So I had to take how many mulligans? 3 mulligans. I have 8 basic Pokemon. All right, so no coughings, which is in play. So that is what it is. Anyway, so not the start I really wanted, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so we'll get there, hopefully. Have Sobble has the Keep Calling attack, which I might use, but I'll probably evolve and get a coughing into play, and then probably Iono. It's not a very good deck. I put it together quickly. It's a it's a 4/4 coughing Weezing line. It is a 4/4 and then 4 Sobble, Drizzile, and Teleon line. The Inteleons are 3 of the pinging Inteleons, 1 of the Pokemon Search. I have a mixture, I believe, of 6 water energy, 6 dark energy. So anyway, got him there. Okay, so I believe now I can get ability lock this turn. So Shady Dealings, yes. Give me so I have energy search, which will allow me to evolve this turn. And this is good. I have the dark energy. Put that on there. I'll play Iono. No, I'll keep it. I'm going to wait on Iono. I have my Inteleon for next turn. So we'll Ascension. I have guaranteed a chance to get net next turn if I don't get hand disrupted. So I believe I saw an Inteleon at this point for this Inteleon from the Sword and Shield base set with shady dealings. Search for 2 items. I will scoop up the wheezing and we will see what happens. And like I said, apologies to my opponent. Do want to test this out. It's just seeing in Pokemon, they've kind of addressed this issue partly. I don't think that they have fully addressed the issue, though. So I am looking to test this out. So there we go with that. Here we go. Here we go. I'll get a net. And I may have another energy search card. All right, that's nice. So I will scoop up with him. Let's see if the game freezes or not. So, okay, so the game's working for me. Let's see if the game works for my opponent. So we'll see what happens on their turn if they can do anything. So end goes to their turn, so hopefully they can play their turn. All right, looks like the game's working for them. So could be something about the mechanics of the Galarian wheezing that works differently. Of course, we'll see if they can actually play any cards, right? They drew for turn. That's good. And of course, if they're locked up, I didn't pay attention to what the time was when their turn started. So it's under 23 and a half minutes. So I don't know how long it could take. Is it 30 seconds? So let's see if they can do anything here. Again, apologies to my opponent. It's certainly not a very kind thing to do. I don't think there's any... Okay, so they couldn't do anything. So let's see if this next turn... So I'm not gonna scoop up this turn. I will just make a little play here and poison them and see what happens, okay? So it does 40 damage. They drew a card. They don't have abilities, but they should be able to play cards from hand, right? So it's looking like to me they might be locked up from playing the game. So I may have to do another game. So they're locked up. So I apologize. So apologies to my opponent. So I'm going to concede. Well, no, I'm going to wait a little bit because they're going to have to concede, I guess. And again, it doesn't affect the ranking. Fortunately, because it's not a rank ladder, the glitch can't be exploited to make things happen. So scooping up the wheezing does appear to have locked them up. So, all right. So I'm just going to concede because there's really no point to this. I'm going to jump in for another game, see if it happens the same thing. So they got the win, so good for them. Obviously, I did nothing deserving anything good on the earth. So let me jump in one more game, see if it happens. I hope it's not the same opponent. I hope for their sake it's not the same opponent. Again, just looking to see. I think Pokemon has kind of addressed this issue that they're having in a very flawed way. That's what I think has happened here. Obviously not a shock that they've done this. That's kind of consistent with how they've operated thus far. Looking to me like my opponent. We'll see what happens here. So we got the Pikachu, got what's that, San Francisco from the World Championship coin. I believe got the cable car, right? So I assume it's San Francisco. I believe there was a World Championship held there. World Championship coins are nice. I enjoy seeing that. It would be nice if we could see the coins after the start. Like I like my coin, and my opponent never gets to see my coin potentially if I don't start the game, right? All right, so starting Sobble again. Not what I wanted. We'll see what happens here. This might be a loss to me. So Machamp V. There's not much I can do other than end turn. It's not the greatest deck. I just built it quickly to get this wheezing ability. The big thing is I wanted to have get a 4/4 wheezing line and 4 scoop up nets. That was the biggest thing. And then I wanted the Intellion engine there also. All right, good. So I am not locked out of things. So let me do this. All right, so I'll make these plays here like I did before. I will get a level ball. I have net. I like that. All right. I have all the things I need to annoy my opponent, unfortunately. I do like an ability lock deck that just makes your opponent suffer. I do enjoy that. All right, I will. I'll Iono now. I can retreat. I do want to retreat, but I would like to get myself set up for next turn a little bit better. That's what I would like to see happen. So I believe I have 2 Wheezings at hand. I believe. I don't know if I get knocked out if that freezes up the game, or it's only if it's something like net. I think it had to be a card like Penny was causing the trouble. I'm not sure if it was getting knocked out from play if that locked up the game or not, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we will see what happens. So Balto, I'm liking that, right? That's terrific, right? Great card to see. Uh-oh, what was that one there? Right, because Claydol evolves from Balto. I don't know if it's the same one. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, so there we go. Good. So ability lock, liking that for sure. All right, so let's see if I now stop my opponent from playing the game. I'm just going to scoop him up first and foremost because I think this freezes you out. And again, apologies there. I will. Let's see. Discard. I will evolve into Sobble. Why not do that? I can do that. Let's get a couple cards here. Shady Dealings, and I want, let's see, Energy Search for next turn, and I'll take an Iono. Why not? And I'm going to end turn and see if my opponent can do anything, right? So continuing this test, I've scooped. I had a Wheezing. I had ability lock. In effect, I have now removed the Pokemon with ability lock from play, the Galarian Wheezing, and I don't think my opponent can do anything. I think I draw per turn based on the last game, and then they're ultimately just going to it's going to pass back to me. And it's not good. It's not good, right? I'm going to attack and see if they can. I'm going to knock out their active Pokemon too and see if they can actually get something going. I think they can't though, and assuming I'm successful in stopping my opponent from actually playing the game this time as well, then I'm going to stop. I'm going to retire this deck because it is not nice, right? Not nice at all. So here we go here. Iono. I don't, if I knock out their active Pokemon, does that kind of reset things? There's just a lot of things that I don't know about how this works, right? So I will boom, knock out the active. I'll put 20 on to the Machamp. Why not? Draw a prize. I assume I don't even know if they can choose their active Pokemon. Sometimes I've had it where the game locks up, you can't even select your new Pokemon, then the game itself will eventually chooses it for you. I've had that happen. It's been a while. Unfortunately, the game's been pretty stable for me. Obviously, I'm exploiting a glitch here. Right after this game, I will be shutting it down. That's one of the things. If you have um, when you have issues with live and it glitches out, and it happens to everyone, even myself. I don't have it often, but it will happen on occasion. Exit the game. That's the best thing you can do. So I should pay attention to the timer because at some point my opponent may have conceded or something. I don't know. Um, so we'll see what happens here. This is probably okay. So put one in the active. I don't think they can do anything, and then I'll concede after this turn. And hope I guess is my opponent still around? Sometimes with the soft locks, like with the desyncing issue, I assume it's similar to that. With the desyncing issue, you don't know when your opponent leaves the game, so we'll see what happens here. I'll let it wind down to about 21 minutes flat. It should end by then, I think. Their turn. So once their turn ends, then I will concede because they've either left or which if they did, I obviously don't. I fully understand. I'm you know those are interesting sleeves though. I will say I don't not familiar with those. Hmm. I do like those. Yeah, those are nice sleeves. All right, so opponent was inactive for too long because they couldn't do anything. So anyway, all right. So there we go. Win 2 games by doing nothing. Apologies to my opponents. I guess one could use it to exploit and run up the battle pass. You don't improve your rank, but obviously you're essentially guaranteed to win every game. But don't do that. Just play games. You'll probably make just about as much progress anyway. So there it is. Pokemon fixed it for standard, I guess. I'm not sure if they fault by banning those cards, but they didn't give any consideration to expand it at all. Their vision is a bit lacking, as well as their execution. Hopefully, things get better soon. Take care.